Warning: the following video contains explicit language, which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
All right, welcome back to the So Fresh Podcast. I'm your host, BK.
And I'm your host, J. Steve, baby.
Oh, man, J. Steve.
Hey.
Ooh-wee. We had a lot brewing up in Warner Robins, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
This week.
Yes, sir.
So, as you know, we no need to show the video. The videos actually went viral. So everybody has been showing it, talking about the racist comments from speed athletic coach, football coach, trainer, Mark Taylor. So it's just crazy how a lot of people been saying this about Mark
for a long
but it finally
time.
came out. And you know, my biggest motto is dirt always comes to light.
Right. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah. So, but some of the things I wanted to ask somebody was, he's very successful in what he does, it seems like, because a lot of black youth would actually, you know,
Go to his camp,
go to his camps and support him or whatnot.
Right.
So I wanted to get somebody on to actually talk about the back end of it and how it worked for other people and maybe somebody else's opinion, because I've heard a lot of different opinions about Mark Taylor.
Right.
But so I don't really want to talk. We will talk about the actual racist comments.
Right. The infamous events.
Yeah, but there's a whole bigger conversation that I feel that we should be having, and is how did we get to these point and
Right.
why people didn't see it, but also some of the conflict between, well, yeah, he's a good guy. You know, he slipped
Right.
up. He having some mental issues or whatever. But, you know, we're not going to let those type of excuses fly.
No.
You know what I mean? Because we're going to get into that. So I brought on a guest, Keyshawn Cobb. He's from Warner Robins, not currently staying here or whatever, but he's had some dealings and associations with Coach Taylor. And I wanted him to kind of come in and bring in some insight, because me personally, I know the guy.
Yep.
But I don't know him personally as far as the interactions to, you know, really discuss it as far as, did anybody else peep that? Did y'all see that?
Right.
You know,
Was it seen the way we saw it at times back in the day as well? We're going to get into that too.
Yeah. So, Keyshawn, what's going on, man?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing that, man?
Hey, pretty good, man. How you doing?
Hey, man, I just want to say, man, thank God that I'm alive. Thanks
sir.
for y'all for the opportunity to come on y'all show, man. And just another great day, man. Just another great day, man.
Got you. Before we get started, we always like to ask people, tell us just a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Well, everybody, if you're familiar with me, you know I'm from Warner Robins. Went to high school in Warner Robins, went to multiple high schools. Come from a single parent household. My mother, she did her thing, man. She raised 6 of us. I came out, very successful young man. I have a great job, married, beautiful wife to Latanya. I have 3 beautiful kids, man. Everybody know my son. Everybody in Warner Robins, Middle Georgia, Atlanta. Everybody know Keyshawn, Hollywood, Cobb, Free State, that West Virginia. Everybody know my daughter. She goes to Northside. She was on the running for the homecoming queen as a freshman. And then at this age, I can't believe my wife got married 2 years ago and she wanted to have a baby. So I have a 1-year-old. I actually just kicked him out the house. Because I already knew I wouldn't be able to do this podcast.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have a lot of ties in that football thing, man. A lot of people don't want to own it, admit it, but they know.
Right.
You want to get your kid in school, you might want to call Keyshawn and his crew. And my crew consists of people like Vet Miller, Vet Miller's a coach now. My friend Curtis Harris. And one of the guys that I will be talking about tonight, man, one of the best trainers. And I deal with a lot of trainers up here in Atlanta, man. But I put this guy amongst the best of them, man. That's Tone in Warner Robins, man. People don't know, man. This kid, this guy, this grown man, endured a lot throughout this Coach Taylor process. And a lot of people don't know his story, but I know a lot of people personally that know him that we're going to get a chance to talk about. And I need to, express, because he's not going to speak. The guy, I didn't even want to speak. My son begged me, and I got hit up from the news. So y'all the only people that I'm talking to.
All right.
41,
Well, we feel special.
And if you get on Facebook, everybody kept tagging Keyshawn. I'm like, bro, look, I don't really want to keep discussing this dude, because like I said before in the Facebook post, you go look at my post. you know what I told everybody from Warner Robins.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I
I
gave
saw it.
y'all this in 2020, 2021, and I just laid low. And y'all went through that same fight with this guy in 2022, and y'all just continuously let him come back.
Okay,
But
so let's go ahead and get
Yeah.
into it. So I'm gonna just go ahead and jump out there with a question just to go ahead and get it started. But let's go ahead and get into the meat of it real quick. So apparently your son has had some dealings with he trained under Mark Taylor. So what is it about Mark Taylor that there was always some rumblings about, okay, yeah, this guy's kind of racist, or this guy's kind of a cheapskate. You know, he really just out here hustling, but not really
Basically.
providing any kind of results. But I guess there's mixed reviews because when you look at his Facebook page for the Speed Edge Sports, you know, you kind of see, okay, man, he's look like he's out here working, you know. And I don't really expect for people to show who they are in person. You know, we live in a society where I believe people are really trained to know how to act in person, but you really don't know how people are when they're at home. You know, just a little backstory. We experienced that during the presidential election.
Right.
You know, so it's like these are people that I've known my entire life or used to work with or whatnot. But then
Talk
when we
about it.
started getting into those politics, people started showing their true
True
colors.
colors.
It's like, wait a minute, you're not like this when I see you in person. But then I see that when you become a keyboard warrior or you at home, you sound a little racist. You know, you
Yeah.
sound like you got an issue with us or whatnot. So just explain that real quick as far as how do people get sucked in and why do so many people support him versus we know we have other black trainers out here.
well, I'm gonna keep it real and keep it candid. Y'all live in Warner Robins.
Right.
When you live in Warner Robins and you come up in that era where people don't want to own this, you got to depend on the coach to get you in school.
Right. Right.
Mark Taylor came along and gave us another way.
Mm-hmm.
He trained guys. He took guys up to schools that kids never had access to. You got a chance to put on a uniform that you would never got a chance to wear. He gave you. I can honestly say, and this kind of like two things can be right. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was a wrong person in areas, but he did some things, and he gave kids, and he gave a lot of kids opportunity to go do things that they would only dream of, to get to put on
Right.
a Jordan
Right.
helmet, to get. That's why I'm saying when I say these stuff about Mark Taylor, I want people to understand. Master manipulator.
Mm.
I can honestly say that because
So you saying his manipulation is to come to you with the pictures of Nick Saban and
Right.
Kirby Smart and
and
this.
with
Dabo
you and with you in the uniform, you're not in. The thing what really goes on that like people don't understand, and like I made a post on the football page last night, and a lot of people were 50-50 on my post. I was like, when the high school coaches are going to step up and say anything? Because a lot of them are going to sit here and say that they don't deal with him.
They're
That's a
not
lie.
going to.
But they do.
Because
They do, but they're not going to.
I personally know they just had a group chat all together. Because a lot of coaches still talk to me. They might not talk to me after this, but I'm just telling you. Some of them were like, bro, he inboxed us trying to talk to us as a group. And the funny thing about it, I'm going to tell y'all something that I'm give y'all some insight on something. He inboxed, he had a group chat Sunday after all that went out and told the coach that was a voiceover. That wasn't him on the first video.
That's what he said for real.
The coach called me at work and said, call me ASAP. I got to tell you something. I'm not going to speak on what coach because me and him are real cool.
Right.
He said, man, this man said it wasn't him, man. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
what happened when the other two videos dropped and his face was on it?
And his face was on it. Plus, we know what he sound like.
I haven't even had time to call coach because my wife made me turn my phone off. The last 48 hours, I don't think my phone has rung this much. I'm kind of ready for all this to blow over.
Right.
So I can move forward. You know
That's
what I'm
kind of how
saying?
we are. I kind of feel like that too as well. Once we get this out and we get this interview over with, this conversation is done and wrapped up, I kind of want to move on from it because it's a topic I don't want to sit on too long. I guess more so because you usually don't hear about stuff happening in little old Warner Robins that's truly controversial and makes the big time waves in the scenes and stuff like that. But man, that's a bad look.
You want to know?
I,
You want to know the sad part about the situation is, man. The sad part about he always want to be famous, and now he is.
yeah,
Right.
he big
For the
famous.
wrong reasons.
He big famous. But look though,
Big famous,
so
man.
that's what my thing is about it blowing it over. So I wanted to blow over so it won't put a dampen on this city. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
The
this
city
area,
the city got a dampen on itself, man. I
right?
ain't
But
trying to back up. I'm from that city because the city saw this. The city saw this in
Years ago.
2018. The city saw this in 2020. The city chose sides.
Mm.
The city made a decision on who they wanted to believe because you got to also understand when you're dealing with a guy that can give access and you got a young man, a son, and you talking to just a regular old guy like me who now can give you the same access, but at that time, I was trying to figure that way out. Me and my friends, we were trying to figure out this whole scenario on how he did it. And when we finally realized, like, and if anybody trained with him to say that they got fast, no, I can honestly say you didn't get fast. My son was a speedster, so he started training with Mark Taylor.
Mm.
He got with Mark Taylor. He lost his speed. He got more power. Mark Taylor builds power.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say he gets you conditioned. He's a conditioning coach. He will be one of those coaches that you can go if you want to go get in shape. You go to Mark Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
But speed, no. You need
So
to
he
go
got the wrong name for his company in the first place. Then
well, watching his
Nah, he
videos,
got
I
the
can
wrong
agree.
name for it. Yeah,
He got the wrong
he definitely got.
Watching his videos though on his Facebook page, as far as the business, it looks more like conditioning
right.
than speed.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
lifting tires, pulling tires. I you know,
Not a lot of parachute training, bag training. Stuff. Speed. Certain speed training drills.
He had that. He had the bungee cords. He had that thing.
Yeah.
He had those kind of things. But he would have Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays and Friday sessions where he did different things. But once you get on the level that my son is at, once you get to the next level and you start going out and start seeing different things, and you like, man, hold on, bro. While I got a step fast when I went over here to Atlanta, or when I went to Coach Carlos, who has an amazing track team down in Warner
yeah.
Robins.
Shout out to Carlos Brooks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, shout out. Oh, that's my little brother right there all day, man.
Yeah.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy. And I want people to understand, I got love for my city, but I'm mad at y'all because y'all really pissed me off because I told y'all, and all y'all want to be my friend now. I don't want to be none of y'all friends. I ain't standing none of y'all one rock.
He told us.
Don't care me for no
Hey.
don't everybody no schedule, none of that.
Make you mad when you tell somebody something they won't listen.
So look,
It
this
makes,
go.
it makes you, for me, it's a hurting feeling because I put a lot into all those schools and the people. And for people to look at a black father who has shown y'all, who everybody loves, oh, you're a good black dad. But when it came down to y'all making a decision between this black man and this white man, y'all chose he can help my son bump what Keyshawn talking about. I believe coach. And not knowing the receipts came out and everybody's mouth dropped like, dang.
Yeah.
Well,
The receipts have been out, and so that's
true,
I guess
yeah.
my other question off the one I just asked you is, so what you're saying is a lot of folks, or we're going to talk about a lot of folks, basically chose the opportunity for fame over character, because this guy is a convicted felon.
One.
But
Charges of terroristic threats,
Two.
stalking. Not only is the stalking, but he's currently, and that's out. People know that if you go look it up. But currently is in a new issue with his current wife,
Right.
and he filed for divorce, and he got some stalking issues going on there. Where
And was banned from all the House County too.
from the first time, but also restraining orders were put on him. So the guy's character has always kind of been exposed.
Yeah.
So, but I think like me and you talked off mic the other day was that becomes questionable and makes people make a hard decision, because in this small town or whatnot, people look at like you asked that question. If you got a kid and he got an opportunity to go D1 and he from Georgia, where you want to go to school
Right,
at?
right.
UGA.
UGA.
And if he talking all that humble mumble blumble, I can get your son, in the conversation. I can take him up to UGA, have him looked at, interviewed or whatnot. People gonna run with that. So I don't specifically know why people chose this
for a slight $25.
For this black coach who probably has a good record, not a criminal, hadn't been to prison, You know, I'm not saying that just because you've been to prison, you just a bad apple and you can't fool with nobody. But if you've already been exposed several times as far as your character, why people still rock with you? So
See you forgetting to say this one part about it too, BK. It's not that he had those charges and had the past. This isn't just going back a few years. This is multiple years ago when we first got into it. You know, that's the thing about it. This man has always kind of had somewhat of a reputation and make people kind of think like, I don't know about this cat right here.
Yeah.
And, you know, we said it back then. But now here it is in everybody's face. And now everybody wants to, everybody want to be quiet. Oh, I don't know nothing about it.
No, everybody don't want to be quiet. Everybody want to have something to say now. Everybody want to be like, oh, man, Mark Taylor. They want to, oh, he's on the Breakfast Club. Oh, Mark Taylor this. And these the same people I'm looking like, where y'all was when he was, people don't understand, like.
They were quiet at the wrong time.
I hope y'all give me a second so I can say this. When he was hurting my son recruiting to go to Alabama. When he got my son off a pull from Arkansas State. When I was trying to tell y'all this man was doing these foul things to not just my son, it was a group. Coach Tone and Coach Curtis, man, we did something amazing. We did something big for 3 black men from Warner Robins to say, it's other ways, y'all. And y'all didn't believe us. I know personally, Coach Tone, friends didn't believe him. They chose Taylor. I hate to say that, but that's just the truth. They chose Taylor because they would say, oh, Coach ain't like that. I posted text message when he bashed my son, because all my son said to him was this: Coach, I appreciate it, but I really don't want, you using my name and because, coaches.
Right.
I already got my trainers. And we train also with a great DB coach up here named OD. He trained all the NFL guys. Him and Coach Tone, and I can say Marvin Jones. He's one of my son's trainers. Those 3 guys my son spoke on. If you go back to 2021 and read that text message, that man, and this granted, talking to a young black man, he told a young black man who's a 2-time JUCO All-American, graduated with a psychology degree in JUCO. He told him he was never going to be nothing. He's only going to be a FCS offer kid, a JUCO kid. A year later, my son went to Buffalo, starting 80 tackles, first team, everything. You go look it up, highlights. Now he got now he decided he wanted to go do better. He went to West Virginia, and now he's going to say that West Virginia.
Right.
We never let. And I tried, and I look at this. I stayed the course with my kid. Let's look at. You can look at the dynamic on who's right or who's wrong by our life choices. Who life choices look better than mine's or his?
Yours, definitely.
Yeah.
And I tried to warn people like, all y'all got to do is pay attention to how this man treated Coach Tone back in 2014 when he used to get Coach Tone ran off the football fields because he was training there. He didn't want Coach Tone. He didn't want Coach Marvin them being on the field. In this mind, and this is the mindset of I have to say it. I gotta say it. I hope I don't disrespect nobody, but I'm gonna say it. Well, I don't really, not no disrespect. In that area with that dude, it was sort of like a slave mindset. It was, I don't want, and I hope I can say this, and y'all don't hope if you have to bleep it, just bleep it. Nobody can mess with my niggas but me. That's what it was. If any other trainer came in, he ran, he bashed them, he cussed them out, he tried to ruin them. And these guys would go to him as black people. Y'all know we soft-hearted.
Yeah.
Properly. We try to go to you correct. We try to do it the right way because we knew that this guy had influence with these college coaches. And they can sit there and say what they want. He actually do.
Yeah.
Right.
He had influence with the high school coaches. Because people fail to forget. You think all these football players defending for this man and he wasn't a football coach at these high schools?
Right.
So when people be like, oh man, the coaches ain't got nothing to say. No, that's their brothering.
Yeah.
You would never seen another coach diss another coach, no matter how old he was or what happened. They don't diss each other.
It's a frat.
Yeah. That's what I felt about. I felt about that when Northside put out the statement. Like, wait a minute, he ain't really got nothing to do with Northside. He has something to do with the coaches. So I felt like Northside Football Athletics maybe should have put something out,
Right.
Maybe they shouldn't. I don't know. But I'm just saying.
I mean, maybe they're thinking he was affiliated so long ago where maybe they didn't really have to really go in depth, I guess you would say.
Yeah, but that was like over 20 years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
But I can
That's
say
what.
how many
Go ahead.
How many Northside players are trained or have trained with him over those 20 years? How many people he influenced from Northside over those 20 years?
Yeah.
It doesn't. I look at it like this here. I said it on the post today. And this lady said, "Y'all."